Welcome to the Artificial Fluency Podcast, your English podcast for real conversations, gentle learning, and taking care of your mind in English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Spencer. We're really glad you pressed play today. Maybe you're making breakfast, thinking about your day ahead. Maybe you're walking somewhere, trying to clear your head. Maybe you're lying in bed at night, unable to sleep because your mind won't stop. But hey, you're not alone here.
Yeah, if you're going to think anyway, you might as well do it with some English in your ears.
Exactly. Your mind may feel busy and loud, but your listening practice is on point.
And we see you. We understand that busy mind feeling. And you sound a bit distracted today, Spencer. Is everything okay in there?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just, you know those days when your brain feels like it's running in circles? I woke up this morning and immediately started worrying about everything. Work stuff, money stuff, things I said 3 years ago that don't even matter anymore. So today I told myself, I need to learn how to control this thing.
I get that. I also have those mornings when I open my eyes and my brain immediately starts listing everything that could go wrong today.
Yeah, like your mind is a playlist on repeat, but it's all the bad songs.
And we know many of you feel this too. Your thoughts spiral, your mind races, you can't turn it off. That's why today's episode is important for us. In this episode, we're talking about thinking itself and how to discipline it, how to train it like you train your body. We're going to share stories, talk about this challenge slowly, and give you small ideas you can try so you can feel more in control of your own mind.
But before we go deeper, we want to ask you for just one tiny favor.
If you enjoy learning with us, please like this episode and subscribe to the channel. It helps more learners find the Artificial Fluency Podcast and join our little community.
And we'd really love to hear from you in the comments. You can write one simple sentence, something like, I'm your name from your country, and tell us what negative thought keeps coming back to your mind.
We read your messages, and they really help us understand what you're going through, not just in English, but in life.
And when you write, your brain has to choose words and make a sentence. That's real practice, not just listening and forgetting.
Okay, let's also talk quickly about the English level for today, so you feel safe.
This episode is a B1 to B2 level episode. That means we're using natural, everyday English, but we're speaking clearly and we're not rushing.
We'll talk about the mind, about thoughts, about feelings, some psychology words, some metaphors, but we'll explain them as we go.
It's not super simple and it's not super advanced. It's that comfortable middle place where you can understand a lot and still learn new things.
And if you're an A2 learner, you can still stay with us. You might not understand every single word, but your ears will get stronger.
Yeah, this is a safe episode for you too. You can use it as a bridge from basic English to more natural, real English.
So wherever you are on your English journey and your mental health journey, you're welcome here with us.
And because we're vocabulary nerds, we will play with some bigger words today.
During the episode, we'll explain important words naturally inside the conversation, so you don't have to pause and look everything up.
And at the end, we'll do a calm word tour. We'll slow down and go over some key vocabulary again with simple examples just for you.
All right, if you can, take one deep breath.
Yeah, breathe in and out.
Let's start talking about your thinking and see what it might be trying to tell you. Spencer, have you ever had a moment when your thinking completely took over and you couldn't stop it? Like your thoughts became the boss of you?
Yes, very clearly. I can still see it like a little movie in my mind. It was about 2 years ago, maybe late spring, early June. I was preparing for a big presentation at work. Important clients, my manager would be there, everything riding on this 1 hour.
High pressure.
Very high pressure. So normal week, normal preparation. If you looked from the outside, everything looked fine. I had my slides ready, I practiced my speech, I knew the material perfectly. But the night before the presentation, I just couldn't sleep. My body was lying in bed, but my mind was running a marathon. Inside my head, I thought, what if I forget everything? What if they ask a question I can't answer? What if I look stupid in front of everyone? And that thought hit me like a wave. Each what if created another what if, and another, like dominoes falling. In that moment, I knew my thinking was out of control. I wasn't the driver anymore. My thoughts were driving me.
What happened with the presentation?
That's the crazy part. The presentation went fine. Actually, it went really well. People were happy, I got good feedback, but I had tortured myself for 12 hours with thoughts that never even became reality.
Wow, yeah, that really hits. That feeling of being trapped in your own mind.
It's exhausting, like running a race against yourself that you can never win.
I had a similar moment, but for me, it was about a relationship. About 5 years ago, a close friend stopped texting me back as often, and instead of just asking her if something was wrong, I spent weeks creating stories in my head. She doesn't like me anymore, I said something wrong, she found better friends, I'm not interesting enough.
The whole movie in your head.
The whole movie. And after weeks of this mental torture, I finally asked her. And you know what? She was just busy with family stuff. Nothing to do with me at all. But my thinking created a problem that didn't exist. That picture is so clear. You're lying there, body still, but your mind is running wild. And the hardest part was probably feeling completely powerless to stop it, right?
Exactly. Like I was watching a horror movie and I couldn't turn it off.
And that powerless feeling, that my thoughts control me feeling, is actually really common, more common than people talk about.
Really? You think everyone goes through this?
Not everyone, but many people, because we're never taught how to manage our thoughts. We learn math, we learn language, we learn history, but nobody teaches us how do you control your own mind.
That's such a good point. It's like having a powerful car, but no one taught you how to drive it.
Exactly. And when you don't know how to drive, the car goes wherever it wants, sometimes into walls. This is where the concept of mental discipline comes in. It's like physical discipline for your body, but for your mind. Training your thinking like you train your muscles.
Mental discipline. Can you explain that a bit more?
Mental discipline means taking active control of your thoughts instead of just letting them happen to you. It means noticing when your thinking becomes unhelpful and choosing to redirect it.
Oh, like when I notice I'm spiraling into what-ifs, I can catch that and say, stop, this isn't helpful.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. You become the observer of your thoughts, not just the victim of them. We just used the word spiral. Let me explain that quickly.
Yes, that's a good one to know.
Spiral as a noun is a shape that goes around and around, getting bigger or smaller, but we use it as a verb too. To spiral means to go out of control, usually getting worse and worse in a circular pattern.
Oh, like when one negative thought leads to another negative thought, and it keeps getting worse.
Exactly, that's it. I started to spiral means you got caught in that negative loop.
And we also said redirect. That means to change the direction of something, right?
Right. If a river is going the wrong way, you redirect it. If your thoughts are going in a negative direction, you redirect them to something more helpful.
Before we continue to the next part, I want to remind you of something important.
We upload new videos to our channel every week for you to learn and grow. Don't forget to support us so we can continue doing this. You can help us see our channel in front of more people by subscribing, becoming a member, liking, and commenting on each of our videos. Please don't forget to do these.
Your support really does make a difference. It helps us keep creating content like this for you.
All right, let's continue with disciplining your thinking.
When you said becoming the observer of your thoughts, it reminded me of something my therapist told me years ago. She said, "You are not your thoughts. You are the person who watches the thoughts."
Oh, I love that.
At first, I didn't get it. I was like, what? If I'm not my thoughts, then who am I? But then she explained, imagine you're sitting by a river, watching leaves float by. The leaves are your thoughts. You can watch them come, watch them go,
but you don't have to jump in the river and swim with every leaf.
That's a beautiful metaphor, the river and the leaves.
And when she said that, something clicked. I realized I had been jumping into the river with every negative thought, every worry, every fear. I would grab it and swim with it.
Instead of just watching it float by.
Exactly.
So that's the second concept, thought observation, the practice of watching your thoughts instead of being swept away by them.
Okay, but how do you actually do that? How do you watch thoughts without getting caught in them?
Great question. One way is to name the thought pattern. Like instead of thinking, I'm going to fail this presentation, you notice, I'm having the catastrophizing thought again.
Catastrophizing. That's a big word.
It is. Catastrophizing means imagining the worst possible outcome, even when it's not likely. It's when your mind jumps to disaster.
Oh, like my what if I look stupid in front of everyone was catastrophizing.
Exactly. You were imagining the worst-case scenario, and by naming it, by saying, I'm catastrophizing, you create distance. You step back from the thought.
So it's like labeling the thought.
Yes, and that label helps you not believe it so much.
That's really smart. What's the third concept?
The third one is thought replacement. Once you notice an unhelpful thought, you don't just stop it. You replace it with a more realistic, helpful thought.
Like changing the channel?
Exactly like changing the channel. If the channel is showing scary movies, change it to something calmer, more balanced.
So what can someone actually do if they're stuck in negative thinking right now? Like today, this moment?
Great question. Here's what I've found helpful. First, the 5-5-5 technique. It's simple but powerful.
What's that?
When you notice you're spiraling, you stop and ask yourself 3 questions. Will this matter in 5 minutes? Will this matter in 5 days? Will this matter in 5 years?
Oh, that's smart. It gives you perspective.
Right, because most of our worries fail the 5-year test. We're torturing ourselves about things that won't matter next week.
How do you do that exactly, like in the moment?
You literally stop, maybe close your eyes, take 1 breath, then ask out loud or in your head, will this matter in 5 years? And be honest with yourself.
I love that. And I'll add that writing down the thought helps too. When I write my worry on paper, it looks smaller, less scary.
Yes, externalization, getting it out of your head and onto something physical. That's powerful.
And remember, you don't need to fix all your thinking in one day. This is practice, like going to the gym. Small reps every day.
Second practical tool, the and technique. This one is so simple, but it changes everything.
What is it?
When you have a negative thought, you don't just fight it. You just add and then a balancing truth.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Instead of saying, I'm terrible at presentations, you say, I'm nervous about presentations and I've done them successfully before. Or instead of, I'm going to fail, you say, I might struggle and I can ask for help.
Oh, wow. That and makes it feel less black and white.
Exactly. It allows both things to be true. You can be scared and capable, worried and still move forward.
I'm definitely trying that one.
Third tool, the thought pause. Set a timer on your phone for 3 times a day. When the timer goes off, check, what am I thinking right now?
Like a mental check-in?
Exactly, because often we're not even aware we're thinking negatively. The timer makes you pause and notice.
And then what, after you notice?
Then you ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's hurting, you use the and technique or you redirect to something else.
But what about when the negative thoughts are really strong, like so strong you can't redirect them?
That happens. And first, I want to say, if your thoughts are overwhelming you most of the time, please talk to a professional, a therapist or counselor. There's no shame in that.
Important reminder.
But for everyday negative thinking, remember, you don't have to win every battle with your thoughts. Some days they'll be louder. Some days you'll lose the fight. That's okay. Tomorrow you try again.
So it's not about perfection.
Never about perfection. It's about direction.
Are you moving toward better mental habits, even slowly? That's success. So if you're listening right now and feeling trapped in your own thinking, maybe the problem isn't that you think too much.
Yeah, maybe the problem is that you're not directing where your thoughts go.
Your mind is powerful, like a wild horse. Wild horses aren't bad, they just need a gentle rider who knows how to guide them.
And you can be that rider, not through force, but through patient practice.
Mental discipline isn't about controlling every thought, it's about noticing when you're spiraling and gently bringing yourself back. I want to ask you something. Can you think of one time when you felt lost in negative thinking, and then later you found a way through it?
Like those moments when you lost control of your mind, but you also found a new tool or strategy.
Exactly. Maybe you found that breathing helps. Maybe you found that walking clears your head. Maybe you realized that talking to someone breaks the spiral.
Those moments are worth celebrating, not with big fireworks, but with soft kindness.
A small smile, a deep breath, a gentle thought. I'm learning to take care of my own mind.
And that learning never stops. Even people who are good at this still have bad thinking days.
The difference is they know it will pass. They trust the process.
And if you're still here with us at the end of this conversation, we just want to say, we're proud of you.
Really, we are. Whether your mind feels chaotic right now, is starting to feel calmer, or is somewhere in between, you showed up today, and that counts.
You're trying to understand your own thinking. That's brave. That's growth.
And remember, your thoughts are not facts, they're just mental events. Some are helpful, some are not. You get to choose which ones to listen to. And while we were talking, we used some pretty important words and phrases about thinking in the mind.
Yeah, maybe we should slow down and talk about them a little. Let's do a calm word tour.
Great idea. And I think we should start with discipline.
So discipline is a noun and also a verb. As a noun, it means the practice of training yourself to follow rules or behave in a controlled way.
For example, mental discipline means training your mind to focus on helpful thoughts.
Or you could say, athletes need discipline to practice every day.
As a verb, to discipline means to train or to punish in order to create better behavior. But when we talk about disciplining your thinking, we mean training it gently, not punishing yourself.
Another word we used was spiral.
Yes, spiral as a verb means to move in a circular pattern, usually getting worse or out of control.
For example, I started to spiral into negative thoughts and couldn't stop.
Or when I worry about one thing, I tend to spiral and worry about everything.
It's often used with into or out of control.
Another word we used was catastrophizing. That's a big one.
So catastrophizing is a verb. It means imagining the worst possible outcome, treating small problems as disasters.
For example, I was catastrophizing about the meeting. I imagined losing my job, but actually nothing bad happened.
Or you could say, stop catastrophizing, it's just a small mistake, not the end of the world.
The noun form is catastrophe, which means a big disaster.
What about redirect? We used that earlier.
Redirect is a verb. It means to change the direction of something, to point it a different way.
For example, when I notice negative thoughts, I try to redirect my attention to something positive.
Or the teacher redirected the conversation back to the main topic.
We also said powerless.
Yes, powerless is an adjective. It means without power, unable to control or change a situation.
For example, I felt powerless to stop my racing thoughts.
Or when the storm hit, we were powerless. We could only wait.
The opposite is powerful or empowered.
Another important word was observer.
So observer is a noun. It means someone who watches something carefully without participating.
For example, try to be an observer of your thoughts, not a participant in every negative story.
Or, I was an observer at the meeting. I listened but didn't speak.
The verb is observe. which means to watch or notice.
We also used realistic.
Realistic is an adjective. It means based on facts and real possibilities, not on exaggeration or fantasy.
For example, try to replace catastrophic thoughts with more realistic ones.
Or you could say, be realistic. You probably won't fail as badly as you imagine.
The noun is realism, the way of seeing things as they really are.
What about overwhelm?
Overwhelm is a verb. It means to be too much for someone to handle, to defeat someone with superior force or emotions.
For example, negative thoughts can overwhelm you if you don't learn to manage them.
Or, I felt overwhelmed by all the work I had to do.
The adjective is overwhelmed or overwhelming, like the amount of information was overwhelming.
Another word we used was externalize or externalization.
Externalize is a verb. It means to express or bring something internal to the outside, to make it visible or concrete.
For example, externalizing your worries by writing them down can make them feel smaller.
Or, when I externalize my thoughts in my journal, I understand them better.
And the last one, perspective.
We've talked about this before, but it's so important. Perspective is a noun. It means your point of view, the way you see and understand a situation.
For example, the 5-5-5 technique helps you gain perspective on your worries.
Or, from a different perspective, this problem doesn't seem so big.
Having perspective means being able to see the bigger picture, not just the immediate worry.
If you didn't catch every word, it's okay. You can listen to this part again slowly, like a mini lesson.
And if you want a small challenge, choose one of these words and make your own sentence.
You can say it quietly to yourself, or be brave and write it in the comments. That's real practice.
Yeah, that's like sending your English brain to the gym, but a calm, friendly gym.
A small, friendly gym where everyone is learning together, step by step.
And if you're still here with us at the end of this episode, thank you for spending this time with us.
Whether you listened while cooking dinner, walking outside, or lying in bed trying to calm your mind, we're glad you were here.
Your thinking doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be a little bit kinder than it was yesterday.
And mental discipline isn't about never having negative thoughts. It's about knowing what to do when they show up.
You have more power over your mind than you think. It just takes practice. Gentle, patient, daily practice.
Like training a puppy. Some days it listens, some days it runs wild, but slowly, it learns.
If this episode helped you, tap like, subscribe, and share it with someone who struggles with racing thoughts or negative thinking spirals.
And don't forget to leave a comment. Tell us, what negative thought keeps coming back to you? We read every single one.
This is Emma.
And this is Spencer.
And you've been listening to the Artificial Fluency Podcast.
Stay kind to yourself.
And keep going, one small thought at a time.
See you in the next episode.
And hey, try the 5-5-5 technique today. The next time you start worrying, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Watch what happens.
Your mind is listening.
Welcome to the Artificial Fluency Podcast, your English podcast for natural conversations, calm learning, and discovering new ideas in English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Spencer. We're really glad you pressed play today. Maybe you're having your morning coffee. Maybe you're walking somewhere, looking at the trees. Maybe you're lying in bed with your phone, scrolling through social media before sleep. But hey, you're not alone here.
Yeah, if you're going to scroll or relax or take a break, you might as well do it with some English in your ears.
Exactly. Your evening may feel quiet, but your listening practice is on point.
And we appreciate you choosing to spend this time with us. And you sound really thoughtful today, Spencer. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I've been thinking about reading, actually. I used to read so much when I was younger, like every single night before bed. But now, I can't remember the last time I finished a book.
So today I told myself maybe I should understand why I stopped and what I'm actually missing.
I get that. I also have those moments when I think about all the books sitting on my shelf, unread, just waiting, and I wonder what my brain is missing without them.
Yeah, like maybe there's something important happening in your brain when you read that doesn't happen when you're just scrolling through Instagram.
And we know many of you feel this too. You want to read more, you know it's good for you, but somehow it's so hard to actually open a book and start. That's why today's episode is important for us. In this episode, we're talking about reading and what it actually does to your brain. We're going to share stories, talk about the science slowly and simply, and give you small ideas you can try so you can maybe fall in love with reading again, or discover it for the first time.
But before we go deeper, we want to ask you for just one tiny favor.
If you enjoy learning with us, please like this episode and subscribe to the channel. It helps more learners find the Artificial Fluency podcast and join our little community.
And we'd really love to hear from you in the comments. You can write one simple sentence, something like, "I'm your name from your country," and tell us, when was the last time you read a book? Or what book changed your life?
We read your messages, and they really help us understand what you're going through, not just in English, but in life.
And when you write, your brain has to choose words and make a sentence. That's real practice, not just listening and forgetting.
Okay, let's also talk quickly about the English level for today so you feel safe.
This episode is a B1 to B2 level episode. That means we're using natural, everyday English, but we're speaking clearly, and we'll explain any bigger words as we go.
We'll talk about the brain, about feelings, about reading habits, some science words, some emotion words, but always explained in a simple way.
It's not super simple, and it's not super advanced. It's that comfortable middle place where you can understand a lot and still learn new things.
And if you're an A2 learner, you can still stay with us. You might not understand every single word, but your ears will get stronger.
Yeah, this is a safe episode for you, too. You can use it as a bridge from beginner English to more natural, real English.
So wherever you are on your English journey and your reading journey, you're welcome here with us.
And because we're vocabulary nerds, we will play with some bigger words today.
During the episode, we'll explain important words naturally inside the conversation, so you don't have to pause and look everything up.
And at the end, we'll do a calm word tour. We'll slow down and go over some key vocabulary again with simple examples just for you.
All right, if you can, take one deep breath.
Yeah, breathe in and out.
Let's start talking about reading and see what it might be trying to tell you. Spencer, have you ever had a moment like that? A moment when a book completely changed how you saw something?
Yes, very clearly. I can still see it like a little movie in my mind. It was about 4 years ago, maybe late autumn, October or November. I was on a train from London to Edinburgh. Long journey, about 4.5 hours. So, normal train ride, normal day. If you looked from the outside, everything looked fine. I had my coffee, my headphones, my laptop for work, the usual business trip setup. But that afternoon, I just couldn't focus on work emails. My body was sitting there in the train seat, but my mind was somewhere else, feeling heavy and kind of numb. Inside my head, I thought, everything feels gray, like I'm going through the motions but not really feeling anything. And that thought hit me like a cold wind. In that moment, I knew I needed something different, something to wake up my brain a little.
So what did you do?
I closed my laptop and I pulled out this book from my bag. I honestly don't even remember why I had it with me. It was a novel, something someone gave me months ago that I never touched. Fiction. A story about a man who decides to walk across a whole country with no plan, just walking.
And did you read it?
Yeah, and within maybe 20 minutes, something weird happened. I forgot I was on a train. I forgot about work. I forgot about that gray, heavy feeling. My brain just woke up, like someone turned on lights in a dark room.
I love that image.
And for the rest of that journey, I was completely in that story. And when I got to Edinburgh, I felt different, lighter, more alive, just from reading for a few hours.
Wow. Yeah, that really hits. That feeling of your brain waking up, coming back to life.
It was such a gift. I didn't expect it at all.
I had a similar moment, but for me, it was in a much quieter place. About 3 years ago, I was going through a really difficult time. A close friend was sick, and I felt helpless because I couldn't do anything to help them.
That's so hard.
Yeah, and one night I couldn't sleep, so I went to my bookshelf and grabbed this old poetry book, just random poems, different poets, and I started reading slowly, one poem at a time, and something about those poems, the way they put feelings into words, it helped me cry, like really cry, and after crying, I could finally sleep.
Books gave you permission to feel.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. That picture is so clear. You're on that train, everything looks normal, but inside you feel disconnected. And the hardest part was probably not knowing how to fix that feeling, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you do when you feel numb? You can't just decide to feel better.
And that disconnected feeling, that gray feeling, is actually really common, especially in our modern world with constant screens and notifications.
Wait, really? You think it's connected to technology?
I think it's connected to how we consume information, because when you scroll through social media or news, your brain is jumping from topic to topic, image to image very fast, like Emma snaps her fingers, jump, 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 jump.
Oh, like a hummingbird, never staying in one place.
Exactly, that's a perfect metaphor. But when you read a book, your brain does the opposite. It stays, it focuses, it goes deep into one story, one idea for a long time.
So reading is like slowing down your brain.
In a way, yes, but it's more than just slowing down. It's also waking up your brain in a different way. This is where something called deep reading comes in. It's like the difference between walking through a beautiful garden very fast or sitting on a bench and really looking at one flower for a long time.
Deep reading. Can you explain that a bit more?
Deep reading is when you're not just seeing words on a page, you're building images in your mind, feeling emotions with the characters, asking questions, making connections. Your brain is fully engaged, fully active.
Oh, like when I was on that train, I wasn't just reading about a man walking. I was imagining the roads, feeling his tiredness, wondering why he was walking. My brain was creating a whole movie.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. And that deep engagement does something really special to your brain. We just used the word engaged. Let me explain that quickly.
Yes, that's a good one to know.
Engaged means fully involved, fully connected to something, not just physically there, but mentally there too. For example, when you're engaged in a conversation, you're really listening and responding, not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Oh, like when I'm engaged in a book, I'm not thinking about other things. I'm totally in the story.
Exactly, that's it.
And the opposite would be disengaged, like when you're watching TV but also scrolling your phone at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Your attention is divided. You're not deeply engaged in either thing.
Before we continue to the next part, I want to remind you of something important.
We upload new videos to our channel every week for you to learn and grow. Don't forget to support us so we can continue doing this. You can help us see our channel in front of more people by subscribing, becoming a member, liking, and commenting on each of our videos. Please don't forget to do these.
Your support really does make a difference. It helps us keep creating content like this for you.
All right, let's continue with reading and your brain.
When you said deep engagement, it reminded me of something I read recently. There was this article about how reading fiction actually changes your brain physically, like scientists can see the changes on brain scans.
Yes, I read about that too. It's fascinating.
They found that when people read stories with a lot of physical action, like running or swimming, the motor parts of their brain light up, the parts that control movement.
Right, so your brain is simulating the experience, almost like you're doing it yourself.
That's wild. So when I read about that man walking across the country, my brain was kind of walking with him.
In a way, yes. Your brain doesn't always know the difference between reading about an experience and having the experience.
That's so cool. So reading is like practicing life.
That's a beautiful way to say it. You're practicing emotions, practicing empathy, practicing different perspectives. Which brings us to another concept, empathy. Reading, especially fiction, builds empathy in your brain.
Empathy means understanding other people's feelings, right?
Exactly. When you read a story from someone else's point of view, you're literally practicing seeing the world through different eyes. You're feeling what they feel, thinking what they think.
So if I read a story about a woman in Pakistan or a teenager in Brazil, I'm building my ability to understand people who are different from me.
Yes, and studies show that people who read a lot of fiction have stronger empathy skills in real life. They're better at understanding others, better at social situations.
Okay, so we have deep reading, which is focus and engagement, and we have empathy building. What else happens in the brain?
Stress reduction. This one is huge. Reading for just 6 minutes can reduce your stress levels by up to 68%.
6 minutes? That's it?
That's what the research says. 6 minutes of reading and your heart rate slows down, your muscle tension decreases, your stress hormones drop.
More than listening to music?
More than listening to music, more than going for a walk, more than drinking tea. Reading is the fastest stress reducer they tested.
Wow. So when I felt that gray, heavy feeling on the train, and then I read for a few hours, my brain was literally de-stressing.
Exactly. You were giving your brain a break from worry, from work stress, from that emotional heaviness.
So what can someone actually do if they want to read more, but they feel like they don't have time or energy right now?
Great question. Here's what I've found helpful. First, forget about reading for a long time. Start incredibly small.
How small?
5 pages. Just 5 pages before bed. That's it. You don't need to read for an hour. You don't need to finish the book quickly. Just 5 pages every day.
And why 5 pages specifically?
Because 5 pages feels easy. It's not overwhelming. Most people can read 5 pages in about 5 or 6 minutes, and 5 minutes feels doable even on a busy day.
I love that. It's so simple. And I'll add that keeping a book next to your bed helps, like physically close to where you sleep, so it's easier to reach for the book than reach for your phone.
Yes, environmental design. Make the good habit easier and the distracting habit a bit harder.
So maybe put your phone charger in another room and put the book right on your bedside table.
Exactly. And remember, you don't need to read difficult books. You don't need to read classics or impressive books. Read what you actually enjoy.
What if someone says, "But I don't know what I enjoy. I haven't read in years."
Then I'd say, think about movies or TV shows you love. What kind of stories pull you in? Mystery? Romance? Science fiction? Adventure? Start with a book in that genre.
Oh, that's smart. Like if you love detective shows, try a detective novel.
Exactly. Don't make reading feel like homework. Make it feel like entertainment that happens to be really good for your brain.
But what about when you start reading and your mind wanders, like you read a whole page and then realize you don't remember anything?
Oh, that happens to everyone, especially when you're out of practice.
So it's normal?
Completely normal. Your brain is like a muscle. If you haven't exercised your focus in a while, it's weak, but it gets stronger with practice.
What should you do when it happens?
Just go back, read that page again. Don't judge yourself. Don't think, I'm bad at reading. Just gently bring your attention back like you would in meditation.
So it's like training your focus muscle.
Exactly. And each time you bring your attention back, you're making that muscle a little bit stronger.
What about people who say reading makes them sleepy?
That's actually a good sign in some ways. It means reading is activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest mode. Your body is relaxing.
So reading before bed is perfect then.
Perfect for sleep, yes. But if you want to read during the day and stay awake, read somewhere bright. Maybe sit up straight instead of lying down, or read out loud for a bit to keep your brain active.
So, if you're listening right now and feeling like you want to read more but life is too busy or you're too tired, maybe the answer is not to find more time.
Yeah, maybe the answer is to find smaller moments.
5 pages before bed, 10 pages while you drink your morning coffee, 3 pages while you wait for the bus.
Reading doesn't have to be this big event. It can be these tiny pockets of peace throughout your day.
And those tiny pockets add up. 5 pages a day is 1,825 pages a year. That's about 5 or 6 books just from 5 pages a day.
Wow, when you put it like that, it's actually a lot.
Small habits, big results. That's the magic of consistency. I want to ask you something. Can you think of one time you felt lost in a book, completely absorbed, and then when you finished, you found something new about yourself?
Like those moments when you lose track of time, but you also find a new perspective.
Exactly. Maybe you found courage from a brave character. Maybe you found comfort from someone else's sadness. Maybe you realized you're not alone in your struggles.
Those moments are worth celebrating, not with big parties, but with quiet gratitude.
A small smile, a deep breath, a gentle thought. Books are still here for me whenever I need them.
And they're patient. They wait for you. They don't judge you for being away.
No book ever said, "Oh, you took too long to come back." They just wait, ready to welcome you again.
And if you're still here with us at the end of this conversation, we just want to say we're proud of you.
Really, we are. Whether you read every day, haven't picked up a book in years, or are somewhere in between, you showed up today, and that counts.
You listened. You stayed curious. You're thinking about your brain and how to take care of it. That matters.
And maybe after this episode, you'll pick up one book, just one, and read 5 pages. That's enough. That's a beautiful start. And while we were talking, we used some pretty interesting words and phrases about the brain and reading.
Yeah, maybe we should slow down and talk about them a little. Let's do a calm word tour.
Great idea. And I think we should start with engaged.
So, engaged is when you're fully involved in something. It's an adjective. It means your attention and energy are completely focused on one thing.
For example, I was so engaged in the book that I didn't hear my phone ringing.
Or you could say, the students were engaged in the lesson. They asked many questions.
The opposite is distracted or disengaged. That means your mind is wandering or you're not really paying attention.
Another word we used was empathy.
Yes, empathy is a noun. It means the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person, to feel what they feel.
For example, reading fiction builds empathy because you experience life through different characters' eyes.
Or, she showed great empathy when she listened to my problems without judging me.
It's different from sympathy, which is feeling sorry for someone. Empathy is actually feeling with them.
Another word we used was simulate.
So, simulate is a verb. It means to copy or imitate something, to create a version of an experience.
For example, when you read about running, your brain simulates the physical movements.
Or you could say, flight simulators simulate flying a plane so pilots can practice safely.
The noun form is simulation, like a simulation of reality.
What about numb? We used that when I talked about my train experience.
Yes, numb is an adjective. It means unable to feel, either physically or emotionally, like when your emotions are shut down or your body can't feel sensations.
For example, my fingers felt numb after being in the cold for so long.
Or emotionally, after hearing the bad news, I felt numb. I couldn't cry or react at all.
It can also be a verb. The cold weather numbed my hands.
Another important word was perspective.
So perspective is a noun. It means your point of view, the way you see and understand a situation.
For example, reading gave me a new perspective on poverty. I understood it differently after reading that book.
Or, from my perspective, the decision was wrong, but from their perspective, it made sense.
We also talked about stress reduction.
Reduction is a noun. It means the act of making something smaller or less. When you reduce something, you decrease it.
For example, reading causes stress reduction. It makes your stress level go down.
Or, the company announced a price reduction. Everything is now cheaper.
The verb is reduce, like reading reduces stress.
What about absorbed or absorbed? I think we said absorbed in a book.
Yes, absorbed as an adjective means completely focused on something, so interested that you forget everything else.
For example, she was so absorbed in her work that she forgot to eat lunch.
Or, I was absorbed in the novel. Hours passed without me noticing.
Absorb, as a verb, can also mean to take in information or liquid, like a sponge absorbs water, or I'm trying to absorb all this new vocabulary.
Another word we used was genre, G-E-N-R-E. It's a French word.
So, genre is a noun. It means a category or type of art, especially books, movies, or music.
For example, mystery is my favorite genre. I love detective stories.
Or romance, science fiction, and horror are all different genres of novels.
Some people pronounce it genre, and some say genre. Both are okay.
We also said consistency.
Yes, consistency is a noun. It means doing something regularly, keeping the same pattern or behavior over time.
For example, consistency is more important than intensity. Reading 5 pages every day is better than reading 100 pages once a month.
Or success requires consistency. You have to show up every day.
The adjective is consistent, like she's a consistent reader. She reads every single night.
One more word, overwhelming.
Overwhelming is an adjective. It means too much to handle, so big or strong that it's hard to deal with.
For example, reading a 500-page book feels overwhelming, so I'll start with just 5 pages.
Or, the amount of homework was overwhelming. I didn't know where to start.
The verb is overwhelm, like don't let big goals overwhelm you. Break them into small steps. If you didn't catch every word, it's okay. You can listen to this part again slowly, like a mini lesson.
And if you want a small challenge, choose one of these words and make your own sentence.
You can say it quietly to yourself or be brave and write it in the comments. That's real practice.
Yeah, that's like sending your English brain to the gym, but a calm, friendly gym.
A small, friendly gym where everyone is learning together, step by step.
And if you're still here with us at the end of this episode, thank you for spending this time with us.
Whether you listened while making dinner, walking in your neighborhood, or lying in bed thinking about your day, we're glad you were here. Reading is one of the kindest gifts you can give your brain. It's rest, it's exercise, it's medicine, it's adventure, all at the same time.
And you don't need to be a fast reader or a smart reader or a perfect reader. You just need to be curious enough to open one page.
Your brain will thank you, even if it's just 5 pages, even if it's just once a week, even if it's a book you've read before.
The magic is in the act of reading itself, not in finishing the book or impressing anyone.
If this episode helped you, tap like, subscribe, and share it with someone who used to love reading but forgot about it somewhere along the way.
And don't forget to leave a comment.
Tell us, what book changed your life? Or what book are you going to read next? We read every single one.
This is Emma,
In the Suspenser.
and you've been listening to the Artificial Fluency Podcast.
Stay kind to yourself.
And keep going, one small page at a time.
And hey, maybe tonight, before you pick up your phone, pick up a book instead, just for 5 pages. See what happens.
Your brain is waiting for that gift.